Humanitarian development activities in Bangladesh. Introduction. Bangladesh is the fourth largest Muslim populated country of the world. The country is also one of the poorest and most densely populated countries in the world. Bangladesh is frequently affected by repeated natural disasters such as cyclones and floods. Due to political unrest, secular regime, lack of good governance and transparency, the people of Bangladesh have been suffering a lot. Like many other developing countries, poverty in Bangladesh is widespread and has been remaining an alarming social issue for a significant amount of time. Many people live in the remote areas have not sufficient access to education, health support, shelter, cloth, food and nutrition. Under such circumstances, as representatives of Muslim Ummah, we are trying to play our role to support the distressed people and develop the society and Islamic culture by implementing several humanitarian programs. Orphan Support Program (OSP), Vocational Training Center, Orphanage, School for Street Children. One of our remarkable efforts is Orphan Support Program (OSP). Bangladesh now is a country of around more than 4 million orphan children. We are working for dignity, protection, education and moral development of these vulnerable orphans. We are operating several orphanage and other relevant support programs avoiding the conventional process. But along with the orphans, there are many poor children who are not able to continue study due to extreme poverty. We operate and financed 4 secondary and primary vocational and training schools in Cox's Bazar and Bandarban district with 43 teachers for around 3,000 students. Distressed children are getting education in these schools who have no alternative choice due to poverty. We also have project for the dropout students who could not continue their school learning due to unavoidable circumstances. Besides, we have a school for street children and also an evening Islamic school to ingrain the basic teachings of Islam among the general students. In Bangladesh, due to the insolvency, some families decline to send their potential students for higher degrees despite of the students' excellent results. To minimize such dropouts, we are operating a scholarship program at all levels of education. Mosque and Islamic Center. Although Muslims are the predominant community, there are still lots of area without a mosque or a mosque with poor condition. To ease the crisis, we constructed 458 masjid including 50 imam sponsorship and 2,800 ablution centers across the country. In addition, we constructed 23 Islamic centers or madrasa across the country. In Bangladesh, concept of Islamic center is not very common, but for the mass involvement in the cultivation of Muslim thinking, socio-economic development, it needs hall room, library, charitable medical center, and other facilities. All these facilities formed an Islamic center. We realized its importance and tried to implement the project all over the country. Rehabilitation and empowerment. Hundreds of thousands of people are now believed to have been bankrupt and totally penniless due to cyclones, floods and other natural disasters which devastated large parts of Bangladesh's southwestern coast. The ongoing pandemic also turned many lives into standstill. Their losses will never be replaced, but we need to do whatever we can to console and help these people to cope up with reality. Under Rehabilitation and Empowerment Scheme, we rehabilitated 20 families who lost their earning sources due to consecutive natural disasters, providing 50,000 taka as capital to initiate a business. Sometimes we provide them sewing machine, rickshaw van or milky cows to generate income. Besides, immediate after a disaster, our team always rushed into the affected areas with life-saving medicines, foods, cooked meal, hygiene kits, and other relief materials. In kind. We have a separate in-kind program which helps those in need through donated goods and services. We have served and enhanced the lives of thousands of people, donating goods such as women clothing, men clothing, children clothing, shoes, bedding, and other essentials to the needy people of Bangladesh. Seasonal Program. As a part of our seasonal support program, every year in the month of Holy Ramadan, we have been distributing food packs for suhoor and iftar to impoverished families across the country. Food packets can feed an entire family for a whole month. We make every effort to make sure the food packs are locally sourced. Similarly, every year we provide Qurbani meats to extremely vulnerable families across Bangladesh through the provision of Qurbani meat during Eid al-Adha. By this program, we brought a smile in the faces of the poor people who think that eating beef or mutton or any meat is luxury. We also perform Akika service regularly sponsored by our distinguished donors. The meats of these animals are prepared and distributed to the neediest people. Furthermore, each year we distribute Eid gifts among the vulnerable orphan children to spread happiness among the orphans and their families. This kind of programs help orphans to relieve woes and suffering and bring them to celebrate the occasion with the mainstream community. Another seasonal initiative is Winter Support Program. Each year, the winter comes with cold wave as a disaster for many needy people. However, for last few years, the country had experienced some severe cold waves that caused serious disruption to livelihood and distress to the affected people. To combat the situation, we distribute winter clothes, including blankets, jackets, sweater, shawl, among the underprivileged people during the winter season. COVID Victim Support Initiative. The COVID-19 pandemic in Bangladesh represents an all-hands-on-deck moment for humanity. Limited healthcare resources, food insecurity makes the situation more critical. Realizing the situation, we are continuously operating food packet and health equipment distribution along with regular COVID-19 awareness program. As a part of our year-long efforts, we are providing primary healthcare program to the poor and pro-poor community, people who have no or few access to healthcare facility. This program includes primary health checkup, consultation, free medicine, circumcision, dental treatment, maternal and psychosocial support, financial support for emergency treatment, orphans' health check-up, etc. Wash and shelter. Water and accommodation still remain two basic crises for the marginalized people of this country. Most of the poor people from the remote areas of Bangladesh are suffering from scarcity of pure water. They used to drink water from ponds, ditches and rivers that causes to serious health complications. To solve this problem, we are installing deep, semi-deep and shallow tubewell on regular basis. Also, to remove the housing crisis, we often construct brick shelter or tin shed houses for the needy people across Bangladesh. Conclusion. Our aforesaid efforts are significant, but more to do as the number of the needy people are huge in Bangladesh. We are seeking your dua and kind assistances to continue such humanitarian programs in the upcoming days. May Allah accept our noble initiatives and hard works. Ameen.